Somebody writes, somebody leaving the words like two words that illuminate the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb, looking over the finger and her thumb in the shape, hip up and fell on her forehead. Well, the years start coming and they don't.
We are the rainbow.
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 How has homelessness touched my life? Well, I lived in a lot of precarious housing situations growing up, just not knowing if we would be able to afford to stay living there. My mom and I became homeless, I think, for the first time when I was about 9. We lived in a car for a while. We stayed at my grandma's, and we were homeless twice again after that.
I mean, growing up was difficult for a variety of reasons, and quite early on, I didn't feel comfortable in my own home. And that was something that I struggled with up until really now. Like, I feel I haven't felt safe, or I've struggled to feel safe and call something my home for so long. And a large part of that was, again, growing up somewhere I didn't feel like I was protected or safe.
The housing crisis has been really close to home for me, I think, because a few years ago I have experienced homelessness, and so I've kind of been on that end of what it's like to kind of have that insecurity.
Experiences with homelessness is my own mother. It was an addiction that drove her into that. I think it was a lot of the same reasons that she wasn't her when she was there. She was trying to morph into their acceptable daughter rather than who she was. And it wasn't a question of sexuality or gender. It was just her addiction. She couldn't be that person. She couldn't be who she was, so she didn't live there. And I did the same for about a year and a half. My grandmother, love her so much, and she's also passed on. But I remember when I was younger, going into kindergarten, and we would start the day off by the regular grooming ways. Like, I still had long hair at the time, but then after everything, I'm all dressed and my hair's done, we would stand there and she would make me recite, "I am a girl. I like boys. I am a girl. These are my bodily parts."
For me, I was hardly home. That's home and school were like the two last places I wanted to be. So my, home in a sense became like my forest walks, or a friend's place, or, like a couch where I could just find some peace for the night. That affected me a lot, especially in my early relationships, because I stayed in a lot of abusive situations just because I needed a place to live. And I knew also, so many of my friends and people close to me were in the same spot. What can we do about it? You're just trying to survive. And it still affects me, and I think it always will. And it's a long journey of healing and learning and defining what home means for you.
I actually dropped out of high school in grade 9 because I was homeless for the first 2 months of grade 9 and I couldn't focus on school. It's really hard to focus on anything when you don't know if you're gonna have a place to live.
But I know that a lot of people who go through the system, it can be very traumatizing.
You know, it's hard to accept help. It's incredibly hard to accept help. And in some cases, you know, people could be looking for help when they're coming out in that stage. So it could be a lot to, I don't know, reach out for help, look for sources of help, but not fully understand who you are yet. It'll be absolutely life-changing for every person that gets a chance to receive the help from Rainbow House. And I think it, you know, not only will it be like life-saving, but it'll be life-changing. It's going to fully embrace people for who they are, rather than them needing to put on a front to ensure that they're going to get the help they need.
To be visibly trans in any regard while being unhoused definitely makes you prone to more housing discrimination.
Where do these people go? Where are they, like, they're just stuck basically. And so I think that a really good solution is kind of like the Rainbow House too, where it's the sense of like community livings, where it's like these people have a place to sleep, a place to cook, use the bathroom, do literally everything, but also still have that sense of community so they're not alone. Because it can be really hard to go through all that by yourself. And I couldn't imagine being out there for as long as some of those people have, and like still not having that help or that support from the community is honestly ridiculous to me.
It's incredibly easy to become homeless and incredibly hard to become unhomeless, but it's extra hard when you're holding different identities like that. When people who hold non-cishet identities feel stable and feel seen and feel secure, that will just have an outward positive ripple effect and promote creativity and art. There's so many artists out there that are not doing what they want to do because they don't know where they're going to be. And I feel like housing projects like this need to exist everywhere because they would have an amazing effect on the community.
Nobody will have to change who they are to receive the help. They'll be able to show up the exact way that they are.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house. See a human who needs the help and is courageous enough to ask for it. Rainbow House will succeed.
Not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? Never know if you don't go. You never shine if you don't glow. Oh, hey, now, nonny, no, nonny, hey, now, go play. Hey, nonny, nonny, get the show now, get paid, and all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the